Hello, everybody. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Rachel.
And this is So I'm Watching Only Murders in the Building, Season 3, Episodes 1 and 2, The Show Must, and The Beat Goes On.
Cute. Yeah, it's good.
I'm excited.
Me too.
I'm excited to get back into it. I also just, I really like Selena Gomez, and I really like Martin Short, and I really like Steve Martin. So every time we watch this, it's just fun. I just like it. All right, so we picked up pretty much immediately where we left off, with, Ben collapsing on stage and being dead and everything. And then we started getting some flashbacks to the first table read. And I guess we actually opened with the Loretta character.
Yes.
So she was seeing a show, which it said the name of it. It was called No Strings, a Richard Rodgers musical with Diane Carroll. So she was, as a little girl, she was watching that, and she absolutely fell in love with the theater and wanted to do it, and then just couldn't ever make it happen. And now she's Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
As an adult, she's Meryl Streep.
Yes.
And so she goes to audition for the show, and Oliver loves her and casts her immediately. So we get to the read through, and I am happy and sad that we're only going to be getting Paul Rudd in flashbacks, because I want him around, but also I hate it when he plays characters like this.
Oh, yeah.
So have you seen Wet Hot American Summer?
No.
Okay. Because
there's a reason. It's because everyone in that movie is that.
No, they're not.
Well, the little bits that I've seen of that, everyone is playing it at an 11, and I can only take it if one or two characters are at an 11. But the majority of the cast is too much for me.
So I don't mind the being an 11 part. I mind that he's such a dick. Just such a casual dick, because he's famous and they're kind of selling the show on him, Ben Glenroy. And so he's just sort of being a douche to everyone for no reason.
Yeah.
He just is that way. And the cookies thing and all of that. So there is one scene specifically in Wet Hot American Summer that he was doing a lot of in this, and it's if anybody else has seen it, it's when he throws his lunch tray on the ground and Janeane Garofalo makes him pick it up, and he's really indignant about it. It's hilarious, but I don't like it for an extended amount of time. So that's what I was kind of getting from him. So it's I'm kind of glad he's dead, but I also like Paul Rudd so much that I'm torn.
Yeah. Well, I think that we'll probably get him a lot in the Tim Kono thing and from Mabel's Mind Palace.
Yes, which that was very cool. So basically, okay, he dies on stage, and then they're still having the party after. Oliver kind of insists that they still have the party after, just to kind of all be together. And they're in the middle of this party, and he just bursts through the doors, and he's alive, and everything is fine. And he's so excited to keep going and keep doing the show. And
he's blood stains all over his
blood
mouth.
And vomit all over his mouth and his shirt, and he's totally manic.
Yeah.
And he's just talking about how he's going to be different and everything's going to be so much better and all of this. And he's I'm going to go sleep this off in my apartment upstairs, which implies that he has rented one of the apartments in the building.
And he also went around to almost all of the people involved in the show and gave a little anecdote about how he was going to be better.
Yeah.
And when he got to Loretta, he was a snake knows a snake when it sees one.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting.
Oh, I pegged her from the beginning.
You did?
She was in my top 3.
Okay.
Suspects.
I haven't pegged a single person yet. I wasn't looking in this episode.
Because of how she played it at the end, I'm it's too obvious now.
When she left?
Yes.
After he left? Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
But she seemed fishy.
Sure.
So
yeah, well, and also she's been trying for this for so long, and this is kind of her last shot and stuff like that. I get it. You were right to mention the blood and just the vomit, because he's I puked a whole bunch, and he was so pumped about it.
The doctors were please don't leave.
Yeah. So, anyway, he goes back up to his apartment, and the whole time Mabel has kind of been like, I wish that we could do, an episode or like a podcast about this because it's like interesting. And she also really misses Charles and Oliver because I guess they've been so busy with the play, they haven't all hung out anymore. And it's been like months now. And I thought that was really sweet too, that she was trying so hard to like get back in with them because they're so old.
Yeah.
Like they're just so old, and it's really sweet that she wants to be friends with them. Like go back to how they were friends before so much. And also then she was a little bit obsessed with Ben because of the TV show which is just called Girl Cop.
I mean, for the time, it's not within or like outside of the
realm.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was a late 90s show.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a late 90s show. So we also got Andrea Martin back, who is Charles's girlfriend, the makeup artist from the Brazos reboot. And I guess the producer or the director on the Brazos reboot is getting sued for sexual harassment or something as well. So that's on pause. Yeah, I don't know. I just like, I really dug it. We've got Ashley Park in the mix, which is fun. Her name is Kimber, which I always find to be a silly name, but that's fine. And then the producers, and then weirdly Jesse Williams as a cameraman.
Yeah.
Named Taubert.
Is it Tobert?
He said it's Robert with a T.
Ooh, that's clunky getting out of the mouth.
Yeah, I would say
Taubert.
I would say Tobert as well.
Tobert.
But we got a real
I don't like that.
Rysand Resand thing going on.
Listen, it's fucking Reese and Rysand when it's full.
Yeah, for sure.
Fight me. I don't care. Well, Ben is straight up dead now because he was
straight up dead.
Yeah,
yes.
he fell on top of the
elevator shaft.
The elevator that was broken.
Yeah.
And was just full on dropping blood on
Charles.
Just on his face.
Drip, drip, drip.
Also, Mabel's aunt sold the apartment,
which
the
is
baller apartment. I would be furious. Also, what does she have to worry about? Girly, I think you have a future in interior design.
For sure, yes. And also, like, although I don't know, are Charles and Oliver's apartments, are they like just one bedrooms? Like, I'm sure one of them has a spare room that she could sleep in.
Yeah. Well, no, they probably could. She probably could move in there. I don't know why she's worried. But
also you have these two rich old man friends who live in this rent controlled apartment building.
Yeah.
Just like stick around. You don't need to go to Brooklyn or Queens.
Yeah.
I mean, Brooklyn is dope, but you don't need to go to Queens.
Yeah.
I also loved and hated watching Meryl Streep be bad at acting.
Mm-hmm. God, that table read.
It's uncomfy.
I hate it.
It's super uncomfy. Well, and that too was an interesting moment because after the table read, Ben went up to Oliver and was like, she's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was awful. And Oliver was like, well, I know I really see something in her. She has to stick around. Like, we have to keep her. And so, I don't know. I'll take it. I'll allow it. She's a little suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
And you were right about her little apartment reading nook. She had like a little elevated square that had bookshelves and a little chair. And then 2 parts of the bookshelves were like pull out shelf extensions, which was so cool.
It was great.
And then, so the funeral was also pretty hilarious because they were in overflow room 3 downstairs. And apparently Harry Styles was making an appearance at the actual funeral in the cathedral. And then, so Oliver was trying to make a distraction so that he could get past the like usher so he could go upstairs and try to talk to the producers because they are gonna pull the plug again now that Ben is for real actual dead. And instead he runs into a critic who he starts talking to about it, and she was like, no, I was definitely gonna pan your play, so like it wouldn't have been good anyway. I don't know, it seemed like an okay play. Everyone else seemed very excited about it. We didn't see much of it.
Yeah.
But everyone else seemed pretty excited.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? I think critics are a necessary evil.
Yeah.
But I think they get high on their own supply a lot.
Well, she probably would have panned it in that it was like, Well, she said it was boring. So I think that probably is the most egregious thing that you could say about an Oliver Putnam joint. So that, but yeah, so she probably would have gone on to explain herself and be this is the complete antithesis of who he is.
The whole critique would have just been, it blows.
Yeah, it blows and should close. XOXO me.
So yeah, anyway, after she tells him that, he starts having a heart attack.
Yep.
And so he has a monitor on his heart now, and he's like basically not allowed to keep directing the play, even if he was able to convince the producers that it would be okay. And then Mabel starts making conversation with a guy who claims to be Ben's security guard. Mm-hmm. And then she ropes Charles into going with her to his place where he's got a bunch of files about Ben and like what happened and everything. So they get there and it is very clearly just a dude with like
a stalker
with just like a bunch of memorabilia and then just like a pair of his pants from Old Navy. That was hilarious. Mm-hmm. Also, I missed it, but apparently there was a poster on the wall for something he supposedly had done called Sex Panther, which is
the fragrance. Yeah. Oh, funny.
Which I thought was really funny. And so it turns out he is, like you said, like we said, obviously a stalker. And so he gets them both with chloroform and ties them up in, I guess, the basement of this place, which is where Mabel explains that after her dad died, the show Girl Cop brought her and her mom back together because her mom like couldn't handle the grief and everything. But they both sort of realized that they each were watching it separately in separate rooms. And so it just like made her feel better. And that's why she was such a big fan. And then we got a new cop. What was his name?
Detective Biswas.
Yeah. So we got him. He was, I guess, told about them by the previous cop. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that means she's not going to pop up because I really liked her. I would like her back.
I mean, if she was on the show, it probably would be just pop in and out.
Yeah. I mean, that's what she did in season 2. She is busy.
Been in like everything recently.
So he basically was like, why on earth, like, would you come here, with him? That's so stupid. Like, we've been trying, had him from like Jump Street trying to figure this out. And he also had one of the hankies, which have played a big role so far in these first, which I think they'll continue to do.
Yeah. Ben,
as like an opening night gift, gave everyone handkerchiefs with little baby rattles on them because that's like a big part of the play. So yeah, they end up obviously getting out because the cops show up and arrest him. The like doorman or whoever, Lester, he's still around. He was super fun. They said Teddy Demas was in this episode. Was he? Nathan Lane wasn't in this episode.
No.
Yeah, I didn't see him.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much everything. I mean, these 2 episodes definitely were establishing.
Yeah.
So.
Not like jam-packed with plot. Also, Howard, it was Oliver's assistant. Mm-hmm. Even though he auditioned for the show, Oliver was like, I'll make you my assistant.
And he and the stage manager, KT, seem to have a very contentious relationship.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun too. Her name's Allison Gwynn. Mm-hmm. And I already mentioned Ashley Park. And Jackie Hoffman was back again as Uma. She's just hysterical. I just love her so much.
The mustard that she puts on motherfucker.
It's so good.
I'm like, yes, ma'am. I love it.
So
with
good.
Her entire chest.
Yeah. So yeah, I am very excited to see where this season is going. We also were late with this episode because we had a lot going on last week, but we should be back to every Tuesday with them for the rest of the season. So let us know what you think. Like and subscribe, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.